Ready? Sit. Boundary training is very important in any dog training, but for calming a dog down, the boundaries, doorways, gateways, curbs are usually where these dogs pull their owners around, rush through. He thinks that he thinks that this boundary is my boundary. He has to wait till I step in first. He waits till I come back next to him. Okay, and then see how he's not pulling me? Walks through with me. If he does pull you, just tap a little bit. We're gonna do it coming out as well. Close the door first. Sit. It's harder for him. We have a couple of dogs in here in crates across the room. That's who you hear barking. It's tougher for the dog if you have them sit first and then open the door, because they're likely to pop up when the door opens. So we always practice having him sit in a sit stay. Okay. See how I'm walking slowly through the threshold. See how the leash is loose. In order to close the door, I have to do a little left turn there, sit, and then if he's out here in the yard or wherever you are where you want to let him be free, just pat his chest and say, go, and then he's free. And so he doesn't rush off. See how I sort of stopped him? I tapped the leash and I let go. I didn't hold on to him. I let him go to the end of the leash and stop him, but then I let go where there was no tension, because this will cause him to pull and cause him to stress out. His whole issue was because he was beyond stressed out and he did inappropriate things when he was in that stressed out state of mind. What I was saying in there was, if you make that exercise as hard as you possibly can for the dog, the benefits are greater. So always have him sit first, then open the door, because that's harder for him to do. And now, after all this time here practicing, you can do it really easily. And whoever's doing all these things, controlling the boundaries, his perception of them is changed. So if you do the things I'm doing, he's going to see you as being more serious. You're controlling his life. You're controlling boundaries. Anybody can do this. You just have to do it exactly the way you see me doing it here, and you'll have more and more of what we have here. We're going to go and do the boundaries to the street and show you how we start the walk every day and how we keep him calm during the walks. Sit. We have a double gate to go through here to bring Buster out on the street. We're going to take a walk with Buster. We just did the front door, and now we're doing the boundaries. Okay, out to the street. Sit. This is very often a tough one for him because there's always things going on behind the camera and people walking around and dogs sometimes. So he's always excited because he gets to come out here and see all the people and everything going on. You see how I stepped out, I stepped back, he's waiting for me. Okay, he walks through with me calmly, no more pulling. I'm going to do that little left turn. Whenever you have to turn and go back and do something, always turn into him. Never go right. Never, because he's on your left, and that's standard training rules. The dog's on your left for some reason. If you do this and turn right, you're going to have a tight leash. You're going to drag him, and there's nothing good about that. So instead of doing that, to get to the same place, why not do your little left turn? The leash stays loose. Your body tells him, hey, I'm dominant. He goes where you want him to go. It's very easy. A 100-pound person can do this just as easily as I'm doing it. It's all about body language and how you use your body and your moves. So we're gonna just do one more thing. We haven't started the walk yet. If I hadn't been talking to you, we would have been done. But here's the next step. We're gonna show you the next step in this next clip. Sit. And somebody was parking in front of our gate, so I moved down the street a little bit. We haven't started the walk yet because we always do this little routine where he sits at the doorway, the gates, the curb, and then, okay, notice how I did that little sit stay? Let me go on this side of you. I did that little sit stay where I walked around both ways at the curb. Walking across the street is in training mode. If he wants to rush it a little bit, I'll tap him. Just tap him a little bit. There's no rough stuff here at all. Cross the street, now sit, and our walk starts. See how loose the leash is, see how calm he is. Go, And you get to start to walk like this because you control the boundaries from the inside of, starting from the inside of your house, your apartment, all the way out to wherever you're going to release him to be free. In your neighborhood, there's going to be grass there. You let him pee and do whatever he wants to do. If he has to go to the bathroom badly, ease up on him a little bit with that stuff, but definitely do all the boundaries after he's peed. Every curb you come to, do that curb thing I just did. On the way in, have him wait at doorways. And definitely always, I don't care how badly he has to go, do some sort of boundary training at your front door. That's a very important place to do it on your way out. Definitely do it very carefully like you see on the other clip on your way in after he's empty. Okay. Down. Good. Obviously he's got his down really, really well. Good. But if you ever have an issue with his downstay, good. Don't wait for him to ignore your down and then force him down. Do it everything at the same moment. Okay, so let's pretend, okay, that once I'm off the scene, he's back with you, that he's not listening to you. Because obviously, you never repeat a command, you only say things once. Never repeat a command. That's why we practice with the leash. Okay. So I'll show you what to do. If he's doing that, it's down. Simultaneously, all the dog knows is that he hears it and he goes down right when he hears it. And that's because you're doing a move at the same moment that you say the command. And sometimes dogs go a little bit backwards. You can't do with him what you see me doing with him on the on the video. You can't do that once I'm gone. He's back home with you because he sort of goes back to doing some of the things that he did before, like ignoring you. So in order to get past that, if you're saying down, he's not dropping like you saw him do with me, just down. Or of course with okay. With sit, it's sit. Tension at the same moment that you say the command, not popping, jerking, hanging. Just a little bit of tension. His butt hits the ground, you release it. Everything's really gentle here, gentle but firm. There's no stay because he knows down or sit means to stay. No, he's just tired. He's kind of lazy. So let's say that you're practicing a sit stay. I'm not going to make him do a longer one because he's been doing so well. I'm just going to make him stay there till he's released. Go. That's how he's released. You can see we practice in public every day and have been for a while. You see how calm he is in the situation. And he's quite a bit calmer than he was when he first started practicing. He's doing really well. Good boy. Okay. Sit. Good. We're practicing Buster's basic commands here. He slips on a slippery floor. So I said sit. He kind of slipped down into, he wants to relax. He wanted to relax. But we're gonna reinforce the sit stay here just for a minute, just to show you that he can do a sit stay. He's obviously quite relaxed, so he's not stressed out by all this activity. That's why we're actually doing it here. You notice I said sit. I'm going to reward him. Always eye contact, straight down like that as he looks at you. I'm going to release him and just do one more little one. Okay, so that's how you release him out of a sit. Notice how before I do something like that, I always do a little turn, sit. Basic sit stay is where he stays there and he doesn't move until you release him in a very specific way. And if he does it successfully, once again, eye contact, straight down. He's literally looking at me in the eyes, good, as he takes the treat. Not like this, not where the giant hand comes out of the sky, somehow connected to his servant, which would be you. It's this makes you more dominant. Good. It's real contact, eye contact, you're above him. He gets the treat as you're staring at him, he's staring at you. It's a good thing to do. Subtle, but it's really important. And then to release him out of the sit stay, go, pat his chest, and he's free. Sit. So we're walking Buster up to somebody on the street he doesn't know. We're going to send him over to say hi. He really wants to say hi to this guy. Go say hi, give him the treat, give him the treat. Come. Good. And you know, we've not had any issues with Buster and strangers or people, but I just want to show you how I've been teaching him to greet new people. Sit. It's a very structured little exercise. I have him sit. I step away from him. He stays in a sit stay. I hand the person a little gift for him to accept from them. No tight leashes. Always a loose leash. Remember that. If he gets up before you release him, just tap him. Tap him like that and release. There's a lot going on in the street here, so there's a lot to distract him. And then with your right hand, pat his chest and say, go say hi. He gets the treat. Come. Good. Call him back to come. I usually just do it 3 times. You do this little reset circle, sit. It's a very dominant move, so whenever you have a chance to do that reset, definitely do that. And of course, once you get comfortable with things, you can throw in a little sit stay as well. Especially if you're practicing with somebody that he knows, like a member of your family or somebody that he really knows well. Throw in that little sit stay every time after you go give the person a treat, do a sit stay, and then go say hi. Come. Good. So it's just another way to practice your sit stay, your go command, your come command in a real life situation. No jumping. There's no reason for him to jump or anything. The treat's down there, everything's down there. Once he knows somebody, they can pet him as well. And if he does jump, which you may have had problems with jumping, immediately it all stops. No step away, your hands go up like this. You have to be laser beam specific for the dog to get it. When you don't correct him for jumping and you stand back like this and your hands go up, it's going to show him that that's what stopped all the good stuff. So make sure that when he comes to you, you're down there ready to give him rewards, food, pet him, all of that. And then if he does jump, it all stops. That's why his jumping is getting less and less and less, because there's no payoff for the jumping anymore. There's no corrections. If you correct him, he'll think you're playing and it'll get worse. So no corrections. Ignore the bad behavior and it dies out. Feed the good behavior and it gets stronger, and you'll see all that jumping or whatever he was doing before fades away and you get a calmer, easier to handle Buster. Okay. Okay. Sit. You always lead Buster up to the mat. You have him sit first. And you pat his chest and say, go, and then down. Walk over with him and say down. He'll go down. We start the exercise by just rewarding him calmly. Make sure that he's very calm. See how he's waiting? Good. Make sure you say good when he takes the treat. A lot of this is about the calmness of the delivery of the reward. It's practicing basic downstay where he accepts you walking around both ways. There is no stay because he knows that when we say sit or down, it means to stay. So you're not throwing the food down, you're not acting excitable, you're not, if I wasn't talking to you, I wouldn't have said anything, but down and then good so far. Less is more. Less talking, no funny noises. Be calm, because he's only going to be as calm as the person that's doing this with him. Make sure that you reward good in a calm way. It means you pause down there, he waits respectfully until you place the reward on the mat and withdraw, and you say good as he takes it. There's a million things you can do to practice his downstay. Most dogs will come to me when I pull on their leash when they first come here. Good, that's why I always practice that. Of course, he knows that he doesn't get up until he's released in one specific way. So we get to practice all these different things. Let's practice, I'm going to practice leaving the yard and going over to that gate, so just show me where I'm going. If you're ever going to do something that you think is difficult for him to handle, it's okay to remind him what you want him to keep doing. So I'm going to say down, and now show me leaving the yard here. Leave the yard, he's all alone here. Come back, good. There's another gate where I can go out on the street. Good. Takes a lot of focus for him to stay here. Like no matter where I go, no matter what I do, He waits till I come back, he gets paid. It kind of tricks him into a higher level of focus. Down. 1 gate and 2 gates. This is a tough one for most dogs to do. Outside on the street, coming back in now. We have practiced a lot with Buster, so he's really good at his downstay in a lot of different situations now. Good. No matter what you do, where you go, you always come back, reward in the same way, exactly like this. Exactly the way I'm doing it. We'll just finish up with just another little downstay. Of course, we're after the byproduct of doing this downstay on the mat in a very specific way so that every time you release him, he's a little bit more stable, a little bit less reactive. The only way that he'll get up, or you want to shoot for this, teaching him that he only leaves when you come and stand back next to him. You missed a treat there. And you have the leash like this, like you're going to walk him, and you pat your leg and you say, okay, and lead him off the mat, have him sit, and then pat his chest and say, go, and now he's free. Always pick this mat up. It's only for this one exercise, not to hang out on. It's not a doggy bed. The doggy bed is, he perceives the doggy bed as his free time place. Keep it that way. No training on the doggy bed or mats that you leave out. This is something, whatever you choose to use as this mat, the training mat is going to be something he has no pre-existing relationship with. So it could be a bath mat or something like that. If you have a lot of slick floors, something with a rubberized bottom is really important, or else it'll just scrunch up like a towel. It doesn't work well. So just a bath mat is fine if you don't want to get one of these training mats. But you put it down, you go get him, he waits for your permission to go on, you do your stuff on it, whatever it is. You allow him off, you let him be free, and then you pick it up so he can't go back on it. Because if he's allowed to run on it or go hang out on it, it dilutes the power of this exercise. He's only used to doing one behavior, only going to one place in his mind, single mindset when he goes on the mat, and that's what makes it stronger. Every time that you send him there, he clicks in immediately to that calm place, that focus place, and every time you do it, days and weeks pass and he gets better and stronger, and you keep doing things that pushes the envelope. Like now I can go wherever I want. I could go in the house or out any of these gates, and he won't move until I come back. And then we'd add something else after we got that down. So you're always adding something new to push the envelope so he doesn't get stale. And then you see he continues to get calmer and calmer as time goes on. Okay.